Good evening. I'd like to call to order the April 5th, 2023 Concord Township Board of Trustee meeting to order. And the first order of business this evening is the Pledge of Allegiance. So in a second, I'd ask you all to rise, but I would also like to extend an invitation to our Boy Scouts who are here this evening if they would be interested in leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Sure.
Sound good? All right. Would everyone please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and Mr. Tickenip, can I have a roll call, please?
Yes. Mrs. Lucci?
Present.
Mr. Dondorfer?
Present.
Mr. McIntosh?
Present. And the next order of business tonight is recognition letters for Eagle Scouts Kyle and Kelly Wyrick. Sorry, I get that wrong every time. So, Mr. Rose, I believe you're going to read our proclamations for.
I do.
Thank you.
Eagle Scout Kelly Joseph Wyrick. It is with great pleasure that the trustees of Concord Township extend their congratulations to Kelly Joseph Wyrick for attainment of the very prestigious honor of Eagle Scout. It is impressive that you have chosen scouting from your youngest years as one of your primary guides towards character development. Anyone who has known a scout understands the hard work and dedication that accompanies this achievement, which you have demonstrated not only by your Eagle Scout project, but through the leadership positions you held, such as Senior Patrol Leader, Assistant Senior Patrol Leader, Quartermaster, Chaplain, and the many camps you have participated in. Your Eagle Scout project consisted of developing a detailed project plan, raising funds, obtaining donations, and constructing a Gaga ball pit at your former school, Melridge Elementary in Concord Township. Your leadership and service was once again demonstrated as you spent the day reconnecting with former teachers and instructing elementary students on how to play the game, and it was so well received the local newspaper covered the story. Congratulations on becoming an Eagle Scout. We wish you the best and look forward to watching you grow as a future community leader. Sincerely, the Concord Township Board of Trustees.
I'll just read both.
Yep, I'll read both and then we can bring them up. Familiar name. Eagle Scout Kyle Christian Wyrick. It is with great pleasure that the trustees of Concord Township extend their congratulations to Kyle Christian Wyrick for attainment of the very prestigious honor of Eagle Scout. It is impressive that you have chosen scouting from your youngest years as one of your primary guides towards character development. Anyone who has known a scout understands the hard work and dedication that accompanies this achievement, which you have demonstrated not only by your Eagle Scout project, but also through valuable leadership skills gained through teamwork in the many camps attended and positions held, such as Quartermaster, Patrol Leader, and numerous community service positions. Your Eagle Scout project, consisting of developing a detailed project plan, raising money, helping to obtain donations, and organize volunteers to rebuild bleachers at your former school, Lamouth Middle School in Concord Township, it will be enjoyed by all for the years to come. Congratulations on becoming an Eagle Scout. We wish you the best and look forward to watching you grow as a future community leader. Sincerely, the Concord Township Board of Trustees.
Thank you. Before we have the young men up, is there any additional words or?
Well, yeah, I think this is,
Former Eagle Scout.
yeah, as an Eagle Scout myself, I understand the amount of time and commitment and dedication it really requires to become an Eagle Scout and achieve that rank. And to have two brothers that achieve it at the same time is a unique situation. I think it's a testament to both of you. I know that in my years of public service, and I'm going on 31 years, I always look back to my time in scouting, and it really prepared me. It helped to develop my character and advance my leadership ability, and you're setting yourself up for success. So we appreciate your commitment to scouting, and we're happy to have you here in Concord Township, so thank you.
And I'd like to add, parents, very well done. And yes, you are on the road to a successful life with your leadership, your dedication at such an early age. Like, it's very highly commendable. Congratulations.
I'd just like to say congratulations as well. I had a different experience with scouting, but it brought a lot of maturity and leadership, like Mr. Dondorfer said, and it's very commendable, very moving to hear the projects that you hear in your own community. It's fantastic, really something to be proud of, and we look forward to seeing how you gentlemen grow as young men and into adulthood here. So congratulations again. And with that, we'll have you guys both come up.
I want one comment too. I just wanted to mention, congratulations. My father was an Eagle Scout from the late 1920s, going into 30s, and he just passed away last year. He was a Concord resident, and a very successful person too. So I wish you both best of success in the future too. Great
Awesome.
job.
Yep.
Thank you.
It's not used for saying things. Oh, well, my dad was an Eagle Scout, so I just.
That's right. Swear to get your middle name thrown in there unless somebody's mad at you.
Oh, I know.
There. Thank you. Well done.
Oh, no, I just had to say it's
If you want to escape, now's the time. All right. You want free, now's a good time to escape. Thank you, guys. Good luck.
Yep.
Take
Yep.
care.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
All right, and with that, moving on to the next item is the approval of the minutes from last month's second meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the March 15th, 2023 regular trustees meeting minutes.
And I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and none opposed. Elected officials report, Mr. Tekkanen.
Yes, good evening. Thank you, Morgan. Can't believe how quickly the first quarter of the year has gone. All the expenses are in for the first quarter, and we're pretty much on target at 25% of the year complete when it comes to the expenses. Revenues are also tracking as expected for the first quarter of the year. We did receive our first half property tax real estate collections, and those were slightly above what we expected. The main reason for that would probably be people paying their property taxes in full for the year. So, but we're on target for that. I was glad to see that. And all funds that we have is over 13 million, so we're holding our fund balances where we need to have them. And the general fund is 784,000 at the end of the first quarter. Again, that would include the property tax collections. So we still have good amount of fund balances in those accounts. And finally, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Easter for this weekend. And this concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustees, Mrs. Lucci.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to acknowledge my peers for some recent accomplishments. Mr. McIntosh just recently finished your grand jury foreman stint. You also spoke for Eastern Lake County Chamber regarding what's going on in Concord, and heard you on NPR radio, which you absolutely killed. A great conversation talking about our lovely township.
Yep.
So
Nice job.
nice job.
Thank you.
Mr. Dondorfer, your recent appointment to the Adams Board, way to go.
Thank you.
Just shows your full circle commitment to the county, to Concord, and just being an all-around great citizen, so thank you. And Mr. Rose, your recent appointment as Leadership Lake County Board. So I'm just so proud of this group I'm with, and I just kind of wanted to bring everybody out, let everybody know what great leaders we have here in Concord Township. I also want to thank Sean and your group for the rec department for a great turnout at the Easter egg hunt. The weather held out, so great job. We look forward to more great events this coming year. And I was very pleasantly surprised in the e-grapevine when I saw the pictures of the old fire stations, and it is the 75th anniversary of our fire stations this year. So I just thought it was cool seeing all those old pictures, and I was very lucky to have a tour by chief of the fire station, so I got to see how things are coming along, and they are coming along. It's pretty miraculous what's going on over there. We did have some new donations to the the schoolhouse, some trunks from the 1700s. Mr. Maxon showed us, which was pretty nice. I do want to say congratulations again to our newest Eagle Scouts, Kyle and Kelly. We had a staff meeting on Monday. We did meet with our owner's rep for the fire station with an update. I did have an OTA leadership training this month, which was on strategic planning for townships. We met with some residents today in our office hours to discuss some possible additions to our pickleball courts, so we'll looking more into that. And I also hope everyone has a nice Easter weekend, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Lucci. Mr. Dondorfer.
Thank you, Mr. McIntosh. Yeah, like Mrs. Lucci stated, we met with our owner's rep regarding the fire station project. That's moving along. We've have had some challenges, but it's progressing, and it's nice to see that building coming together over there. It's a great addition to Concord Township. I did get an appointment to Lake County Adams Board. You know, in my 30 years of public service, I've never seen so many challenges than now as far as our first responders, you know, possibly needing assistance regarding, you know, what they go through in their careers. So I'm happy to serve in that regard to hopefully share some insight in some planning and development and different programs that are available. I know that we used them on a couple critical incidents that I was involved in with some critical response teams, and it was very beneficial for our first responders. So I'm happy to serve in that regard with the Adams Board. I did have a call from a resident regarding some trespassing on the south end of Concord Township, and we're working with the Sheriff's Department. Administrator Rose had reached out to the property owner. We posted some no trespassing signs there, so hopefully that'll alleviate some of that problem. He had a question regarding some potential zoning violations that I spoke with Heather Freeman about. And other than that, I just had one other call regarding NOPEC, and I think Mr. Rose is going to talk about that this evening. And again, congratulations to our two Eagle Scouts, quite an accomplishment, especially with the two brothers at the same time. So that's nice to see for our community.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to echo Mrs. Lucci's comments and congratulate both Mr. Dondorf and Mr. Rose on their board appointments. You know, fantastic. I couldn't agree more that it's a pleasure to work with both of you, and those boards are lucky to have your service. So, and thank you for recognizing my communicating about Lake County. Yes, I did speak at the Eastern Lake County Chamber of Commerce. That was a couple weeks ago, and then shortly thereafter got invited to be a Get to Know the Leaders series on Idea Stream. They're communicating with leaders throughout 3-county area, so that's a lot of people. And I was the first township person they got to talk to, so got to explain a little bit about what's unique about townships, and of course got to talk up Concord Township. And
Did a great job.
yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I had a lot of fun doing that. I had have a chance, in addition to speaking with the residents this evening about pickleball courts, did receive a complaint about a need of road repair, and touched base with our service director, Mr. Brown, and it's so fantastic when you receive a complaint and are able to turn around and say, yes, that's on the plan for this year. So unfortunately, I didn't have to tell somebody that it's on the list, and we'll get to it when we can. So that was nice. I did have a phone call, or a message from somebody about recycling on Town Hall campus, asking where did our bins go, and they've been gone for a while, but I was able to direct them to a couple alternative sites here in the township that have it. I believe Booth, and I know I verified that St. Gabe's has some cardboard drop-off.
The best place to go actually would be the Lake County landfill. They have recycling bins for all the various categories: glass, metal, aluminum, cardboard, paper, etc. That's where we in the office have been steering everybody.
And some of us here in Concord Township, some people are using major have also had their recycle intervals reduced by 50%. They're only coming alternative weeks, so that's become more of an issue. So yeah, the Lake County landfill is a good alternative if you're running back on that. As Mrs. Lucci said, I did wrap up my grand jury experience for the last 3 months I served there, and as we have talked extensively here, law enforcement is something, and it's been a hot topic at the Commissioner's office, and that obviously affects how we plan our law enforcement and our expenditures. And it gave me a different insight. I don't know, Carl, you know, I've had a lot of conversations about things, and it's something that it calls attention to things that you don't see on a regular basis. And I think there's been a lot of conversation about law enforcement and crime in Lake County, and everywhere crime is increasing in that. But I want residents of Concord to not feel threatened by that. I think it's something, we have a fantastic prosecutor's office. I mean, I have said a couple times that they made the job of being on a grand jury very easy. To be very candid, they came in and said, this is a case, and they said, we want you to decide. We can go, and we had prosecutors come in and say, I don't think I have enough for this charge. This is what I think you should charge instead. They didn't come in and put us in a bad spot, make it difficult. It was very easy. The law enforcement officers that testified, all of them for the weeks, were fantastic, very sharp on their recall, gave great testimony, were very interactive. And so I think what I want residents of Concord Township and Lake County to understand is that we're grateful to have good law enforcement, good prosecution in the county, and things are in good hands. I think the thing that's important to take into consideration is what we need to do to continue to maintain the level of excellent law enforcement we have. And there's a lot of challenges, as Mr. Dondorfer said. Crime is changing, the profession is changing, the people that are coming into the field are changing. Those all present challenges. So I don't feel Lake County residents should be afraid or concerned that things are out of control. I don't think they are, but it's a subject that deserves our attention. Right. And I think we will continue that here in Concord Township, that spirit of public safety and focusing on it. Did tour the fire station just this afternoon with the architects in town for her monthly visit, and the Minister Rose and I have a meeting with the construction team, the architect, design team, and our owners rep tomorrow, trying to button up some of the loose ends and settle on a firm open date here. So I've been spending a lot of time getting familiar with what's going on there. But and with that, I just want to wish everyone a great, happy Easter and have a nice weekend. And with that, we'll move into department reports with Mr. Andy Rose.
Thank you, Mr. McIntosh, members of the board, Mr. Technip, welcome, Mr. Peterson, members of the audience. I'll start off with some bids that we've recently opened. We opened bids on March 21st, 2023 for the Service Department's solicitation for stone, asphalt, concrete, and limestone materials. We did receive 6 bids from the following companies: Osborne Concrete and Stone, Cuyahoga Asphalt Materials, Kokosing Materials Incorporated, Hallmark Excavating, Osborne Incorporated, and Grand River Asphalt Company. We accepted all bids, and we will purchase the materials as needed. Additionally, we opened bids on March 31st, 2023 for the Auburn Road Sanitary Sewer Extension. The engineer's estimate was $223,800, and we did receive 4 bids. I'm going to read them in the order that they were opened. Eclipse Company, LLC. Their base bid was $182,267. Alternate was $13,618. International Excavating, base bid $224,180. Their alternate was $24,530. Northeast Ohio Trenching Service, their base bid was $238,345. Their alternate was $40,070. And the 4th bid was Trax Construction. Their base bid was $207,155. The alternate was $14,995. All bids were evaluated, and they were checked by our consulting engineer, and they recommended, and I am also recommending, that we award the contract to Eclipse. It's interesting that the engineer's estimate was $223,800, and Eclipse all in came in at $195,885. So it was refreshing to see a bid come in under the engineer's estimate.
Right.
And when you include the CEC's construction management inspection for the sanitary, which is required, that's 12.9. You're still under the engineer's estimate, adding that in, which isn't factored in. So very encouraged by that price. A few other items on the agenda I would like to highlight. Item C, that's a resolution to place an obsolete piece of audiovisual equipment up for auction. Item D is a vote to accept all the bids that I mentioned earlier for the stone, asphalt, concrete, and limestone materials. E and F are the votes for the purchase orders on the Auburn Road sanitary sewer line that goes across the frontage of the community center. You know, this just isn't about getting the community center off of septic. That's a bonus. Extending that sanitary line south on Auburn Road, what it really does is it enhances economic development. And it makes those properties south of the community center more attractive because it's easier to tie into sanitary sewer. And we're hoping that that spurs some economic development. And we've got some things cooking on the back burner that we hope will bear fruit in the near future. Items G and H are POs for GeoSci. We talked about this at the staff meeting. This is our testing company for Fire Station 1, and they're also the geotechnical engineering consultant. Due to some unusual conditions and additional requirements that have been levied for testing and additional geotechnical analysis, additional funds are needed to satisfy those requirements. But we broke that out into a PO for the geotechnical analysis part, and then there's a purchase order for the remainder of the testing part so that we could track those numbers separately. So those are on the agenda as G and H respectively. Touching on NOPEC, we talked about NOPEC at the last meeting. NOPEC is currently working to re-enroll customers back, starting with the June meter reading cycle. I know I've gotten some phone calls. Some residents have already received their letters, and I know letters are still going out. I spoke to NOPEC's governmental affairs rep, Jenny Costanzo, and she said the letters are still being churned out. So if the resident hasn't gotten one yet, they should soon. One of the nice things is NOPEC is going to conduct a series of public information sessions to answer residents' questions face-to-face. I volunteered Concord Township, so we're going to host one of those information sessions right here at our community center. I think that's important. We're the only one, I think, in Lake County. All the rest are in Cuyahoga and other areas. But that'll be on Tuesday, April 25th, and that'll go from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. We're going to put that on our website, and then we're also going to put the locations of the other NOPEC meetings, and then are also hosting 3 online sessions if you want to stay at home and watch online. And I think you can type in your question to that particular event. So I think that's good. I'm pleased that they're communicating, and and then I will probably pop in on that April 25th session just to hear it firsthand for the township. The last thing, I know the trustees are aware, but I've gotten a handful of phone calls about what's going on with Quail Hollow Resort Hotel. There's been a lot of cars there lately, kind of in and out, and there's been some activity. The hotel is in a court-ordered receivership. There's no way to sugarcoat it. They're in a court-ordered receivership, and they've been ordered to sell the property. They've retained the services of a real estate auctioneer that was approved by the court. That property is up for auction, and the auction closes on April 19th. We've gotten a handful of phone calls, a lot more curiosity, but I know that, zoning's gotten a call inquiring about uses and different things like that. So, I hope it sells, and I hope the property gets rehab, whether that's refurbish the existing or a tear down and do something else. I'm glad to see that some activity is finally taking place, and hopefully the auction is a success and the reserve is met, and sometime this year we'll see a transfer of ownership and we'll see hopefully something new and exciting. And then finally, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Easter, and hope everybody has a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rose. Moving on down the list, Chief Sabo.
I
Good
try to
evening.
keep it short.
You did fine. Good evening, everyone. For the month of March, we had a total of 244 events. We had 166 EMS events with 120 transports to local hospitals. We had 78 non-EMS events, including 4 fires. Inside of Concord, we had 3 fires, including 1 structure fire, 1 vehicle fire, and 1 outside fire, which was a construction site. So we educated them a little bit. Outside of Concord, we assisted with 1 structure fire. The 1 structure fire that we did have in Concord was on A shift. Lieutenant Yoder did a fantastic job, as did all his firefighters. Pine Hill, if you're familiar with that road, is a very difficult road just to travel normally, let alone trying to pile several fire engines and apparatus and firefighters. They did a fantastic job, got a quick hit on the fire, and lost the garage, but was able to save much of the house. So they did a really good job. We had 21 mutual aid events that we provided mutual aid, and we received mutual aid 9 times, and we had probably one of our highest numbers of overlapping calls of 80 for 33% of our calls were overlapping. Fire Prevention Bureau was out, completed 58 inspections for about 140 hours. That's a lot more than what I usually report, because that also includes the Tri-Point annual alarm system. So that's 1 test over the course of 2 weeks, is how long it takes them to complete the alarm testing at Tri-Point. They completed 7 plan reviews for about 10 hours and did about 10 hours of continuing education. And our investigators assisted with the fire investigation on Pine Hill. Public education, they met with, meeting with Terry Kowalski, a fire safety engineer of University Hospitals, and they're setting up training at Tri-Point and the urgent care centers. And they also installed a residential Knox box or a lockbox, so that was good. Just as a reminder, going along with the recycling, the fire department does still accept aluminum cans. We have our bin behind Station 1 and next to Station 2. That has been filling up a lot faster than normal, which is good. And the proceeds from those donations goes right back into our Fire Prevention Bureau. So thank you for those that continue to bring their cans. Today, I'm pleased to announce that firefighters Lerman, Valletto, Shepard, Meek, Captain Bilal, our inspectors Doug Rott and Brian Spangenberg, we all met, and we had our first meeting of the Concord Township Fire Investigation Unit. So we have, all those guys have completed their fire investigation certifications, and we now have our own fire investigation unit. So well done to them, and I appreciate the time and effort that they put into that aspect of our firefighting force. I too want to congratulate Mr. Dondorfer on his appointment to the Adams Board, and I'm happy to have him join me. And we're going to do good work, at least for the next 2 years that I'm there. So.
Right. Thank you.
And finally, just happy Easter to everyone. I hope everyone has a safe and enjoyable weekend and holiday. So thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Chief.
Thank you, Chief. Service Department.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
The Service Department responded to 7 snow-related call-outs in the month of March, applying 358 tons of salt. The department's total tons of salt applied this season is approximately 1,700 tons to date. Our crews are beginning their springtime operations of pothole patching, ditch maintenance, and curb basin repair. The equipment maintenance crew is preparing equipment for the upcoming construction season. In addition, the Service Department installed the nets on the pickleball and tennis courts. Both are open for play. Concord Township's annual celebration of Arbor Day will take place on April 28th at 10:30 a.m. A tree planting will take place on the Town Hall property near the entrance to Town Hall. The yard waste drop-off at the Service Department opened on April 3rd and will continue to June 5th. The drop-off is open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Residents may drop off yard waste in paper biodegradable bags to the material bin marked yard waste. The bin is located at the rear of the Service Department. No plastic bags are permitted. The annual Brush Day collections are scheduled for Saturdays, May 6th and May 20th, 7:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Residents may drop off brush to the Service Department. Brush may not be bigger than 4 inches in diameter. No stumps, landscape ties, railroad ties, or lumber is permitted. The yard waste paper biodegradable bags will also be accepted on these Saturdays. The 2023 joint road resurfacing projects are scheduled to begin June 16th and completed by the end of July. The roads to be resurfaced this year are Jamie Drive, Kenneth Drive, Brooklyn Way, Gray Road, Rogers Road, and Huntoon Road. All of these roads have only one way in and one way out. Residents should expect some delays during the construction process. Please remember when approaching the work zone or any vehicles with flashing lights to slow down and move over to keep everyone safe. The Service Department reminds residents with any questions or concerns to contact us at 350-3225 or by email at concordtwp.com under Service Department. The Service Department wishes everybody else a happy Easter this weekend. That concludes our report.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks.
Zoning Department.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So during the month of March, the zoning department staff processed 31 zoning permit applications and collected approximately $6,400 in fees. The majority of the permits were for residential projects such as decks, fences, sheds, but we also approved 9 new dwelling units in some of the new developments. We also issued a zoning permit for the new Sheetz convenience store and fuel area that's going to be located at the southwest corner of State Route 44 and Capitol Parkway. As many of the residents already are aware, the trees have already been fallen, and the construction of this project is scheduled to start on May 1st. Right now, they're anticipating opening on December 21st, but we'll probably get a revised timeline once stuff starts get going. Finally, last night, the Zoning Commission held a public hearing on their proposed zoning text amendments that are related to some of the commercial and industrial district uses. They did vote to recommend approval of those amendments, and we'll be forwarding that to the trustees to schedule your public hearing as well. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks.
Recreation.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Just want to start off by thanking my staff member Susie Kopp for filling in for me last month. The month of March was not very great for my family and kids. We were sick all month, so I'm glad March is behind us and we were looking forward to April. As Ms. Lucci said, we had our Easter egg hunt this past Saturday. It was a great turnout. We had just so many kids and families there. It was great to see everyone out. Obviously, the weather was great until we were just about wrapped up, so that was great. It held out for us. I want to give a couple special thanks to First Federal Bank of Lakewood here in Concord for donating our golden ticket baskets. They donated 6 of those, which we had some golden tickets and 6 eggs that we placed throughout the Easter egg hunt, and any kid that got it got a special basket. And then we have an anonymous Concord resident who donated over 3,000 candy-filled eggs. that he'd take each and every one of those. So
Wow.
I can't imagine the amount of time he spent on those. So to that gentleman, we thank you for that. I'd also like to give a big shout out to our fire department for participating, to Chief Sabo and Deputy Chief Bedell and those guys for bringing a fire truck and ambulance over for the kids to check out and sit in, and to their staff members who, they really engage with the community members and the kids, and you could tell that they all really enjoyed having them there, and I enjoyed having them there as well. We got some really nice phone calls and voicemails about that as well. So thank you to those guys, and to Service Director Tim Brown for his guys transporting all this stuff over there for us. So thank you to those guys. And then lastly, to the Recreation Department staff for putting on a great event, and to our facility attendants who helped out that morning and running the event and cleaning up and all that kind of stuff. So, and then obviously special thanks to our Easter Bunny who was there. What is Easter without the Easter Bunny? So just a couple updates. We had a really successful and amazing photo contest this year. We had lots of entries, lots of voters. So thank you to everyone who entered to that. Our winners were announced and posted on social media, and prizes were sent out to our winners this year. So thank you to everyone who entered that. April 21st and 22nd is our spring garage sale at the community center. We have a crazy amount of 24 vendors that are in the community room. That is much more than we've ever had. We've opened up all the rooms to vendors, so we're really trying to market and push to try and get patrons through the building on April 21st and 2nd. So we're hoping that everyone can come out and support them and support our local vendors and businesses that will be there for that. We are still currently taking registration for our preschool classes. One that starts next week actually has some participants in it, so that's great. And then our youth sport programs with Rookie Sports Club. We have soccer starting April 19th, and then baseball starting June 13th. A couple upcoming senior events. We have April 12th is ABCs of Medicare. April 19th is baseball themed bingo, and we just want people to take note that that's the third Wednesday. Normally it's the fourth Wednesday of the month. So this month in April it is the third Wednesday. In April 26th, we have Susan Canavino doing a presentation on Abraham Lincoln. And then lastly for the senior events, we just want everyone to know that as the weather warms up, there is a 55 plus hiking club that meets on Thursday morning that's run by Rachel Lamb. And if anybody wants information on that, they can contact her. Another thanks to Tim Brown and his staff for getting up the pickleball and tennis court nets. The service guys got out there and got that done. Obviously the pickleball courts have been in use already, so I know we'll be getting a lot more of that and really diving into that pickleball here shortly. Hopefully everyone received their e-grapevine. That went out beginning of April, just last week. And then our actual grapevine is currently being put the finishing touches on, and will be sent over to designers soon, and we'll be hopefully mailing that out the last week of April. A couple save the date for summer events. Our summer concert series is all filled up and ready to go. That is every Thursday starting June 8th to July 27th from 7 to 9 here at the Town Hall Gazebo. I'm just going to run over who we have lined up so everyone can start planning ahead. June 8th, we have the Big North Band. That's country music night. June 15th is Word of Mouth. They play classic rocks with emphasis on the 70s. June 22nd is Chardon Polka Band. June 29th, Cheeseburgers in Paradise playing Jimmy Buffett's greatest hits. July 6th, Four Kings and a Queen. That's a Motown and funk band. July 13th is the Woodpeckers, a fan favorite in this area. In Cahoots, they're playing hits from CCR, Santana, and more. And then closing it down for us this year on July 27th is another local favorite, and that's Abbey Rodeo. We have a bunch of great food vendors that we're lining up as well, and all that information will be released and in the upcoming grapevine as well. And then our last special event for the summer is our Community Day, and that's Saturday, August 12th. We have a lot of great new programs and expansion of our Kids World planned for that, our usual fire department pancake breakfast, and then our two bands playing that night are Blue Evolution and Jersey Beats. And lastly, I just want to continue to encourage everyone to sign up for the e-grapevine and follow us on social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so you can get all up-to-date information. And that concludes my, well, happy Easter to everyone as well. And that
Thank you.
concludes mine.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Thank you. I know we're all looking forward to the weather getting nice and summer concerts and community day.
Yep.
So it'll be great, especially on a day like today when it's
Yeah.
gloomy and rainy.
And last but not least, Concord Law Enforcement Sergeant Falvey.
Good evening. For the month of March 2023, the Sheriff's Office recorded 1,163 calls for service. Of those calls for service, we responded to 15 damage accidents. We didn't have any injury accidents to report this time. State Route 84 990, an adult male with weapons under disability, which is a felony of the 3rd degree, and handling a firearm in a vehicle with a felony of the 4th degree. He was an Ashtabula resident from out of town. We also, that was involving an accident as well. We had a Morley and Prouty, an adult male for OVI, Lockwood Ridge, an adult male for temporary protection order violation. Rogers Road, an adult male for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. That was the son who took his father's vehicle. So it's nobody from out of town who's going around stealing cars. Waffle House on Crowell Road, adult male for 2 counts of menacing, which is pretty much threatening with use of harm to somebody. Auburn Road at Prouty, adult male hit skip, motor vehicle accident, leaving the scene of an accident. And Morley Road, a juvenile male for theft of a firearm, and that was a family household situation. Again, nothing from somebody from out of town. And we had 2 warrant arrests that resulted from traffic stops. We responded to 57 alarms. We issued 21 citations for various traffic violations, 164 warnings for various traffic violations. We responded 34 suspicious circumstances, vehicles and persons, 23 welfare checks that people reported a concern for somebody's welfare. And we had 2 sex offenses that occurred in the township. We had the speed trailers out. We got them out a little bit early this year because we saw a problem that was occurring. Those are one is on Hunting Lake and the other one is on Old Johnny Cake Ridge. Those will be spread around the township throughout the season. Lieutenant Zach Ropus from the Sheriff's Office graduated from the Police Executive Leadership College, so we congratulate him. Other supervisors, sergeants, and lieutenants are scheduled to attend the same course, which is a 3-week course down in Columbus throughout a couple-month period. Pretty good in depth and well received course. Deputy Peterlin is one of our newer deputies, and he just graduated FTO, and he's been on solo patrol for a couple of weeks now since our last meeting here. So we congratulate him. He's doing very well. He came to us from Madison Township PD. And then Deputy Matt Byers, who's the former police chief of Madison Township, was hired with the Lake County Sheriff's Office, and he is working in our detective bureau. But Chief Byers also is a Ohio OPATA certified instructor. He's also a mounted unit which is the horses certified rider, and a firearms instructor. So very big asset for the Sheriff's Office there. And we also have Deputy Petrelli. He is our newest hire right now. He came to us from Chester Township PD, and he will be finishing up with his FTO here shortly, and he'll be on solo patrol. And as far as the trespassers go, we're keeping an eye on that situation as far as the ATVs coming out here in the spring and trying to stop a situation from occurring before it happens. And again, happy Easter to everybody, and feel free to contact me at the sheriff's office if you have any concerns or an issue that you need to looked at a little bit more with the microscope, and that my phone number is 440-350-5598.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you.
And moving into audience portion, seeing and hearing none, old business, which there is none, so we'll jump into new business.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve the March financial report.
I will second.
Any conversation? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All in favor, none opposed.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve Resolution 2023-06, authorizing participation in the ODOT Winter Road Salt Contract.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Go.
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2023-07, declaring personal property of Concord Township surplus and not needed for public purpose and obsolete and unfit for the use which the property was acquired, and approving the sale of this property by internet-based auction.
A second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye. Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the Service Department acceptance of all bids for stone, asphalt, concrete, and limestone.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to award the Auburn Road Sanitary Sewer Extension in Concord Township Community Center lateral project to Eclipse Company LLC in the amount of $195,885.
A second.
Any discussion?
I'd just like to build on something that Mr. Rose said. I think, we're thankful to OPEC. We've gotten a lot of things put into the community center, and it looks great. It really, over the last few years, has really seen some nice improvement. This is a great thing for the district, and we're using ARPA funds, and I know there's big feelings on that, but it's something that wouldn't have happened otherwise. We would have had to do some other things there, and it's going to help grow the district. So a very worthy, I think, use of those funds. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye. Mr. Chairman, I move to approve purchase order to CEC Incorporated in the amount of $12,900 for construction management and inspection of the Auburn Road Sanitary Sewer Extension in Concord Township Community Center lateral project.
And I will second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion to approve the PO to GeoSci in the amount of $20,000 for testing.
Second.
Any discussion?
No, just to note that, like Mr. Rose said, this is for some additional engineering and some geotech surveying regarding the fire station project, and I think it's needed to make sure that we're solid over there.
Yeah, it's just something that came up, and we knew that was going to happen, so
Need to move ahead with
Sounds
it.
like our owner's rep explained it appropriately and makes sense.
Reasonable expense. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve PO to GeoSci in the amount of $41,000 for geotech analysis.
And I will second.
And seeing as we already discussed it, all in favor?
Aye.
Item I, Mr. Rose, I understand you're going to read our proclamation.
Yes, sir. Proclamation to the Lake County Department of Job and Family Services. Whereas all children of the community have the right to live and grow in a safe, secure, and supportive environment, enter school prepared to succeed, be able to choose healthy behaviors, and grow to successful adulthood. And whereas during 2022, Lake County Children's Services responded to 1,700 calls regarding children and their families. As a result, Children's Services worked with approximately 1,000 children who presented with a variety of issues which could not be easily resolved And whereas over 100 foster families, adoptive families, relatives, and other alternative caregivers provided a safe environment for children who were unable to be in their family home. Whereas the best prevention of child abuse can only be done if we, both as a society and as individuals, take responsibility to offer parents and families the support and tools they need to provide healthy, nurturing homes for their children. Therefore, we shall declare April as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Concord Township and urge the citizens of our community to join with us to become involved in activities this month and all through the year to raise the awareness of child abuse and to focus our attention on providing safe environments for children and fostering confident, positive parents. Dated this 5th day of April, 2023, the Concord Township Board of Trustees. And I will deliver this proclamation to Job and Family Services Director tomorrow. So,
Thank you, Mr. Rose.
thank you.
So we want to set a public hearing?
Yep. As we know, we've got sheets coming into, and this is another opportunity to expand our JED district. So we've got voluntary participants, but the legal process requires a public hearing.
Yes, sir.
So we need to coordinate that, and we'll do so. I think we discussed in office hours the second meeting in May, which would be the 17th, and we'll do that as we do with a lot of our special public hearings, 15 minutes ahead of the normal trustee meeting. So it'll be 7:15 p.m. on May 17th. Okay, and with that, Mr. Tickenip, would you please read the future meetings announcement?
Yes. On April 12th at 7 p.m., there will be a BZA meeting at Town Hall. On April 19th from 6:30 to 7:30, trustee office hours will be held in the conference room at Town Hall. And finally, on April 19th at 7:30 p.m., there will be the trustee meeting at Town Hall.
Thank you. And just a point of order or note, item L on the agenda was for executive session to discuss pending litigation. Our primary legal counsel was unable to make it this evening, so we are going to cancel that agenda item. And with that, we will adjourn the meeting.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Thank you.